Hello, dear students. Good morning to all of you. Myself, Dr. Varun Narayan Mishra. Today, I am going to discuss about distributed database management system, its types and functions. So, first, we would like to know about the distributed database. So, the distributed database is a kind of database management system in which a collection of multiple logically interrelated databases is distributed over a computer network. It is a same type of this database management system what we have discussed in previous classes, but in distributed database, the entire database is distributed over a computer network, so anyone can access or anyone can distribute that database. So the distributed database management system is a software that supports the transparent creation, access, and manipulation of interrelated data which is located at different sites of a computer network. As we know that the computers are interconnected with each other through some network that we call it as a internet. Okay, so in case of distributed database management system, the entire database is distributed over different computers all over the world, and that computers are interconnected with each other at from different locations. Okay, and you can say that it's a kind of integrated computer system, integrated database management system that integrates or that combined all the interrelated data sets located at different sites of a computer network throughout the world or at different physical locations. So it is very important to know that you should know the physical location of the database. You should know you have the ability to access the database, whatever the database you are going to show over your distributed database management system. Okay, it supports a transparent creation, access, and manipulation of the interrelated database. So whatever the database we are having, it's a kind of interrelated database that is located at different sites of a computer network. Now moving to the next slide. So there are different concepts on distributed database management system or DDBMS. Okay, so it is very much useful for collecting the logically related data sets that can be shared over a network. Data can be split into different fragments. Okay, each and every fragments may be replicated, means you can duplicate the database. You can have the multiple copies of the database. Okay, and that kind of fragmentation and replication is allocated to different sites on the computer, and these sites are interlinked by the communication network that we call it as a internet. And all the database over the distributed database management system is under control of a database management system. Each database management system can be handled by the local operations automatically, and each database management system participates in at least one global application. So these are some concepts when we talk about distributed database management system. So it's a kind of distribution of the database over different computers, over different softwares, over different laptops or hard any kind of storage devices, and all the related information are interconnected with each other. Okay, so this is the architecture of distributed database management system. In short, we'll call it as a DDBMS. Okay, you can see here the entire database is located at different sites: site 1, site 2, site 3, site 4, and so on. Okay, your database is not stored at a specific site or on a particular system. The database is distributed over the different sites, over different computer networks, and these computer networks are interconnected with each other through some internet. Okay, so here three terms are very important. LDBMS, local database management system. When we talk about a specific site, when we talk about a specific location of a computer, so the database that is stored at a specific location can be stored by the local database management system. Okay, and DC is the data communication component. How you are communicating between different sites, how you are communicating between different location of the database, that can be done using DC, that is known as data communication component. If your database is stored, if your database is distributed over different computers, so you should have some communication, you should have some network so that you can communicate between different locations of your database, between site 1 or site 2, site 3, site 4. Okay, so this is very important, that we should have a data communication to communicate between different locations of our database. And third important is GDD, Global Data Dictionary. Global Data Dictionary includes the entire database into the single platform. Okay, GDD having the entire database that is distributed over different networks, and all the networks, all the database are interconnected with each other. So whatever the database we are looking for, or what kind of database we are having, all the database are stored at a global data dictionary. Okay, but when we talk about the specific location of the database, when we talk about the specific computer of a particular database, that is known as local database management system. Okay, so the entire database is stored in different computers at different locations. That computers are having some internet connection, and through that internet connection, the entire computers are connected with each other. That is known as data communication. So LDBMS, DC, and GDD, these are the three important components. These are the important architecture for a database management system. All you call it as a distributed database management system, DDBMS. Okay, moving to the next slide. So what should be the ideal situation for DDBMS? It should be a single application that will be able to operate transparently on the data that is spread across a variety of different DBMS. It can run on a variety of different machines. Machines means computers. Your distributed database can run on a variety of different machines or computers. It can be supported by a variety of different operating systems. It's not like that if a system is having Windows and another system is having Unix and Linux operating system. Okay, it supports different kinds of operating systems. Whatever the operating system you are using, it doesn't having any problem in case of distributed database management system. Maybe in one computer there is a Windows operating system, maybe in another computer there will be Unix or Linux computer operating system. Whatever the operating system you use, the database stored in your computer or database stored on various computers with different operating systems can be supported by this distributed database management system. And all the computers, all the machines are connected together by a variety of different communication networks. We may use different communication networks to connect or to get connected different computers that is having the database. Okay, so this distribution can be geographical or location. Whatever the database we are working on and whatever the database we are having, it may be considered as the global database, or you can say it's a local database. So local database management system means when we talk about only the specific computer, only the specific location of a specific machine or computer. But when we combinedly use entire database distributed over different computers, it is known as global or geographical distributed database management system. So the distribution of data sets may be global or local depending on our requirement. This is the ideal situation through which we can work on the distributed database management system. Okay, so what is the workable definition of distributed database management system? So a DDBMS consists of a collection of sites that are connected together via some kind of communication networks. It's already discussed with you. So what happens in this, in each communication network, each site is a database system and its own right. It is having its own right, and the sites agrees to work together so that a user at any site can access data anywhere in the network, exactly as if the data were all stored at the user's own site. It is a logical union of real databases, and it is important to note that it can be seen as a kind of partnership among individual local DDBMS. When we are talking about individual DDBMS, means the database is stored in a particular computer. The database is stored in a particular computer, particular machine is known as local database management system. Okay, but the entire local database management system should have a partnership so that they can be combinedly used as a global database management system. So there may be some differences with the remote access or distributed processing systems. and there is a temporary assumption that there should be strict homogeneity, means database should have some homogeneity, database should be of same type. That's why it is known as related databases. Database management system means we talk about the related databases. If we are having related databases over different computer networks, over different machines, so it can be interconnected with each other using some communication network. Yeah, this is the diagram, this is the figure showing the distributed database management system. So you can see here the database is stored at site 1, the database is stored at site 2, database is stored at site 3 and site 4. You can see here databases are stored at different locations, site 1, site 2, site 3, site 4. This site means different physical location, means the location of a specific computer. So site 1, site 2, site 3, site 4, these are different locations where databases are stored, and all the database stored at different locations, different sites are interconnected using some computer network, or you can say it's using some communication network or internet. So this is the way in which we can have the distributed database management system. It is very clear here. Suppose here we are talking about site 1. Site 1 is having some database, site 2 having some database. Both the database should also having their local database management system. And when we combine all the database stored at different sites, stored at different locations, it is known as global database management system, or you call it as a global network. Okay, local network means when we talk about a individual system, but when all the systems are interconnected with each other through some communication network, some internet connectivity, then this is known as global database management system. So this is the way in which distributed database management system works for storing and sharing, and you can say accessing the database over different computer networks. Okay, yeah, this is the distributed processing. Okay, so in the same way, whatever the database is stored at different locations like site 1, site 2, site 3, site 4, and all are connected with each other using some computer network or internet. So when we are going to process our database, so it checks that what database we are looking for. If you are asking for some database A, okay, and that database is stored at the site 2 or computer system 2, so it will retrieve that information from that location where the required database is stored. So this is the processing, this is the way of processing, how it works. It checks that which system is having your required data, and it will show you the result about your query. So this is the distributed processing in which databases is stored at different locations will be checked by some computer network, and will check which system or which site is having the required database, and you will get the desired result after some query processing. So there are two different approaches for distributed database management system. Okay, one is centralized and second one is distributed. So what is the difference between these two approaches? Centralized distribution of the database means it achieves efficiency through local optimization by using complex physical data structure. Means the entire database is centralized at a local network, on the local network, that can be used by some complex physical data structures, whereas in case of distributed structure, it achieves the efficiency through the global optimization of the processing that includes the cost of network communication and the local processing. It is the same way we are talking about local and global. Centralized means local kind of database. In that case, we work for the local optimization by using some complex physical data, whereas in case of distributed, which is also known as global database, so global database includes the database which is stored at different locations throughout the network. Okay, in that you need to have some network, you need to have some communication medium to connect with different locations of the computer system having some database. So centralized versus distributed means local versus global. When we talk about single system, when we talk about database stored at a particular system, particular location, then it is known as centralized database. And when we talk about entire database and that can be processed globally, or you can have the global access to the entire database. That is known as the global or distributed database. So centralized and distributed, or you call it as a local and global distribution of the database. Okay, and there is another term, parallel DBMS. In short, we call it as a PDBMS. Parallel DBMS means when a database management system runs across multiple processors and disks that is designed to execute the operation in parallel. When we parallelly work on different databases, this kind of processing is known as parallel database management system. It is whenever possible to improve the performance. So we can parallelly work on multiple databases. That is known as parallel database management system. It is based on the premise that the single processor system can go no longer meet requirements of the cost-effective scalability, reliability, and the performance. So the parallel database management system link multiple smaller machines to achieve small throughputs as a single larger machine with greater scalability and the reliability. So just in case of distributed database management system, we see that database is stored at different locations, and we retrieve the information from that particular location of the database. So in parallel database, it links the entire database. It links the location of multiple sites having database, and they may be a small machine, they may be any small computer, to achieve same throughout as single larger machine with greater scalability and reliability. So parallel database is also a kind of distributed database management system. The only difference between distributed database management system and parallel database management system is that in parallel database management system, the individual systems are also connected with each other, whereas in distributed database, the individual systems are not connected with each other. They connected through the global network, but they don't connect with each other. Whereas in parallel database, site 1, site 2, site 3, the multiple locations of the database can also be connected with each other. That is known as parallel database management system, so that you can parallelly access the database from different locations. You can have the parallelly information retrieval facility from different locations at the same time. So this is the parallel database management system. Okay, so the main architecture for parallel database management system are shared memory, shared disk, or shared nothing. So you can share the memory of multiple systems, you can share the disk of multiple systems, or you cannot share, or there is no need to share the database for parallel database management system. Okay, so for that, this is the flow chart, or this is the graph, this is the figure showing the parallel database management system. So you can see here CPU, these are the important component of computer. Okay, central processing unit, then memory. Okay, ABC. What you see in ABC, in A, CPU, these are interconnected network, and all these computers are interconnected using some network, and these are having some common memory. Means the memory stored in CPU 1, CPU 2, CPU 3, and CPU 4 are interconnected, or having some sharing of the memory. So that memory, this memory is having the memory from all the CPU 1, CPU 2, CPU 3, and CPU 4. So this is known as parallel database management system. Okay, so there are different architecture for parallel database management system. Figure A, figure B, figure C, and figure D. A, B, C, these are different kinds of parallel database management systems that can be used to work parallelly on multiple database at a time. Okay, and the most important thing is that when you work on parallel database management system, it means you have to share your memory. Okay, because each and every computer having some memory, each and every computer having some information stored in the disk or hard drive. So we need to share the memory of multiple computers so that they can be worked parallelly for getting or for retrieving the information. So this kind of processing is known as parallel database management system. Okay, so what are the advantage of distributed database management system? The first and foremost advantage of DDBMS is that the organizational structure. there is an option for shareability and local autonomy. Okay, you can share your database, and you can also have the authority for local processing of your data. That is local database management system. Okay, that is local and global. There are two types of distributed database, at local level or global level. So you can have both the facilities. You can have the option for local autonomy, you can option for the global access. Okay, then improved availability. When our database that is stored at different locations are connected with each other, so it will improve the availability of the database on your demand or on your query. Improved reliability, your database will have some reliability when you work on different database stored at different locations. Improved performance, economics, and modular growth. So these are some advantages of distributed database management systems. Now moving to the next slide, there are several disadvantages of DDBMS are also there. In some cases, it may be complex. There may be some complexities when we talk about multiple locations of the database. The database is stored at different sites and different computers. There may be some high cost. Security reasons may be there. In case of multiple database, there may be the problem of the security. Any unauthorized person can access your database. Okay, there may be problem regarding the integrity and lack of the standards, lack of experience for handling this kind of database management system. You should have good experience and good knowledge about the computer networking. And in some cases, maybe your database design will be more complex. Okay, as we know that the major advantage of database management system is that it should be less complex. But when we talk about distributed database management system, maybe the database design will have more complexity in comparison to the normal database management system. These are some disadvantages of DDBMS. And if we talk about security and complexity, the cost and integrity, these all can be overcome by having good kind of distributed database management system. Okay. Now, what are the types and functions of DDBMS? Okay, we have discussed what is DDBMS, how it works. Okay, and what is parallel DDBMS, what is the advantages and disadvantages of DDBMS. Now we will see what are the different types of DDBMS and how it works. What is the function of distributed database management system? Okay, so moving to the next slide, there are two kinds of distributed database management system. First one is homogeneous and heterogeneous. We know that homogeneous means when we talk about same kind of database. Okay, and heterogeneous means when we talk about various or diverse kinds of database. So homogeneous DDBMS and heterogeneous DDBMS, these are the two types of distributed database management system. Okay, so why we call it as a homogeneous? Homogeneous means all sites uses the same DBMS product. All the locations that are used to store the database will have same kind of DBMS product, and it is much easier to design and manage because the database is of same type. When we work on the database of the same type, so it is very much easy, it is very much good to design and manage in an efficient manner. Okay, so homogeneous DDBMS approach provides incremental growth and allows the increased performance. Okay, because we are using the same kind of database. Okay, so it is very easy to improve the performance. It is very easy to design and manage this kind of database. So this is the homogeneous database or homogeneous DDBMS. Okay, now what is heterogeneous distributed database management system? In case of heterogeneous database, the sites may run different DBMS products. We may have different kinds of database that can be stored at different locations, different sites. Okay, with possibly different underlying data models. If there is a different kinds of database, so there is a possibility that each database may have different kind of data models. Okay, so it occurs when the sites have implemented their own database and integration is considered later. So for the heterogeneous database management system, there is a requirement of translation. Translation means we have to translate one database into another database. Like when we talk about translating from one language to another language. If you are having English language, you can translate it into French language, German language, or you can have the option for translating the French and German into English. Okay, because if we are having heterogeneous database, so it is not possible to manage the entire database, because database is of different types. In case of different types of database, in case of different kinds of information that needs to be processed by some database management system, so we need some translation is required to convert the database from one format to another format. So for that, it allows for different hardware, different DBMS products, and different hardware and different DBMS products. Typical solution is to use gateways. Okay, for such kind of heterogeneous database management system, generally we use gateways. Okay, gateway is a kind of translator, it's kind of program. This program is used to transform, or this program is used to translate the database in one format to the database in another format, because we are dealing with database that is of different types. Each and every location on the network, each and every site, each and every computer on the network is having database in different formats. Different types of database is there that is stored at different locations. Okay, so we need to have some gateway. That gateway is a kind of translation. It's a kind of program that converts the database in from one format to another format, so that there may be the common format for all the database that is distributed over different locations or different sites. This is about the heterogeneous database management system. Okay, so for this distributed database management system, there is an open access and interoperability option there. Open group means it has been formed as a working group to provide the specifications that will create the database infrastructure environment. Okay, so for database access, we need to have some common SQL. SQL is a structured query language that allows the client application to be written that do not need to know vendor of DBMS they are accessing. So the common database protocol that enables database management system from one vendor to communicate directly with DBMS from another vendor without the need for a gateway. A common network protocol that allows the communication between different DBMSs. Okay, so for open access database or interoperability, the most ambitious goal, the most appropriate objective is to find a way to enable the transaction to span DBMS from different vendors without use of gateway. Okay, so if you don't want to use gateway, if you don't want to use a translator, so we need to have some you can say interoperability option, interoperability program that can automatically transform, that can automatically convert database from one format to another format, that can also have the facility for open database access. Okay, now another important term is here, multi-database system, MDBS. Okay, so in distributed database management system, each site maintains the complete autonomy. Means each site is independent from each other. If the data is stored at multiple sites, database is stored at different locations. So each and every location are independent from each other. Okay, in that case, DBMS resides transparently on top of existing database and file system and presents a single database to its user. Okay, this kind of multi-database system allows to access and share the data without requiring physical database integration. If you don't want to integrate multiple databases, if you don't want to integrate different databases that is stored at different locations, so you can use multi-database system. It allows you to access and share the data without any kind of physical integration of the database that is stored, that is shared at different network on the you can say the computer system. Okay, so there are two kinds of MDBMS, multiple or multi-database system. Non-federal MDBMS for no local users, and federated MDBMS, FMDBMS. Okay, so there are two kinds of MDBS. MDBS is of two kinds, that is non-federated MDBS and federated MDBS, FMDBS. In short, it is called as FMDBS. Okay, so what are the functions of DDBMS, distributed database management system? It is having following functions. It is extended communication network. It is having extended data dictionary. It is having the facility for distributed query processing, because the database is distributed at different locations, so it allows the distributed query processing. The query can be performed out on any location, on any site on the network. It is also having the facility for extended concurrency control, okay, and extended recovery services. Query, concurrency, and recovery, these are the important property of distributed database management system. You can access, you can perform query over distributed database. You can perform recovery from distributed database. You can also perform concurrency control over the distributed database. So multiple databases may be accessed, may be queried, or may be recovered at a same location by some global database management system. So these are the important functions of distributed database management system. Okay, moving to the next slide. So what should be the reference architecture for DDBMS? When we talk about distributed database management system, so there should be some architecture, there should be some kind of structure or schema. Okay, so due to diversity, no universally accepted architectures such as ANSI and Spark 3 are available. Okay, because there is a possibility that database may be of different types. So there is no availability of any universally accepted architecture. You need to change as per your requirement. You need to adopt a architecture. You need to adopt a designing of a database as per your requirement. Okay, but for such kind of distributed database management system, there is a reference architecture. A reference architecture is a set of global external schemas. It is having global conceptual schema. GCS is a global conceptual schema that can be used as a reference architecture for DDBMS, that is distributed database management system. Okay, so this GCS is a fragmentation schema, and it is based on the allocation. Means you can allocate the database at different locations, and the set of schemas for each local DBMS conferring to third level ANSI and Spark. So some labels may be missing depending on the level of transparency that may be supported by DDBMS. This is about the reference architecture. Means there is no universally accepted architecture, but as a reference, you can use global conceptual schema. In short, we call it as a GCS. GCS is a kind of reference architecture. Anyone can refer this architecture for creating their own distributed database management system. Okay, but in such reference architecture, there may be some missing data sets. There may be some options or facilities that may depend on the level of transparency. So there may be the problem of missing data sets and transparency when we go for global conceptual schema or GCS. But this is the reference architecture that may be used for managing or designing architecture for distributed database management system. Now when we are moving to the next slide, yeah, this is the figure showing the reference architecture for DBMS. So you can see here S1, S2, SN. Means S1 is site 1, site 2, and so on, site N. You can have multiple sites, means you can have multiple locations and used. You can have the databases stored at multiple locations, S1, S2, S3, SN, and so on. So first S1, site 1, site 2, site 3 having global external schema. They use global external schema, and that global external schema at different locations, different sites can be interconnected using global conceptual schema. And that global conceptual schema can be fragmented. There may be the fragmentation schema. Fragmentation means division into different components. So fragmentation can be done, and after the fragmentation, it checks whether it is suitable for our distributed database management system or not. If it is so, then it will also work for the allocation schema. Now it will allocate different locations. That is known as local distributed database management system or local mapping schema, that is also available at different sites S1, S2, S3, S1. So after allocating the location to each and every database, there may be the local mapping schema, and after local mapping schema, it will go for local conceptual schema. Local conceptual schema for different sites, different locations. After local conceptual schema, it will go for local internal schema, and then it will go for the distributed database or database that is stored at different locations. This is the reference architecture that can be used for distributed database management system. So the entire database, or you can say the database which is stored, which is distributed over the network at different locations, can be first considered as the global conceptual schema, and after global conceptual schema or global conceptual database, it can be allocated into the local database. That local database can work as a local conceptual schema that can be used to store the database at local level. Okay, so this in this, global information is converted into the local information. Global database is now converted into the local database. So this is the way, this is the architecture that can be used for designing and managing the distributed database management system. Okay, so when we talk about a reference architecture for DDBMS, so in this GCS, global conceptual schema is a union of all local conceptual schema. Global schema is the combination of local conceptual schemas. The local data sets can be integrated to create global conceptual schema or global database. So in FMDBMS, GCS is subset of local conceptual schema, which is known as LCS. GCS is global conceptual schema, means the global level distribution of the data, and local conceptual schema means the local level distribution of the data at a particular location or particular computer or system. It consists of the data that each local system agrees to share. Okay, so the each and every local system, like site 1, site 2, site 3, site, and anyone, any local system, any local machine having the access of, having the facility to access, or they agree to share that database stored on that system. GCS of tightly coupled system involves the integration of either parts of LCS or local external schema. Okay, so when we talk about FMDBS with no GCS is called loosely coupled. So the global conceptual schema and local conceptual schema, they should be strongly coupled with each other. When we run the query, it should first check the global conceptual schema, and then global conceptual schema transfers that information to the local conceptual schema that can be worked as a reference architecture for DDBMS. So this is the way in which reference architecture can be done for DDBMS. Yeah, this is the reference architecture for tightly coupled federated MDBS. MDBS means the database or the site, the location of the distributed database at different sites, S1, S2, S3, and so on, can be first transformed, can be first integrated as a global conceptual schema. Now that global conceptual schema will be converted, will be transformed into local conceptual schema having local address of the information, local address of the database, or the locally assigned database, that is S1, S2, S3, Sn. Okay, so here the global external schema can be converted into global conceptual schema. Now that global conceptual schema can be transformed into local conceptual schema having some local external schema, and then local conceptual schema can be converted, can be transformed into local internal schema having some database at different locations. Okay, so this is the reference architecture for tightly coupled federated MDBS. Okay, so this is the figure. This figure is showing the components of a distributed database management system. The distributed database management system having multiple components, like database can be stored at different locations, different sites, that is site 1, site 2, site 3, site 4, site 5, site n. Okay, and the distributed database management system is having the information or the database that can be combined, that can be interconnected using some computer network. So for that, we use the uh, global cons- global conceptual schema or GSC, and all the database having some interconnected network that can be used to create the relation or establish the relation between multiple sites: site 1, site 2, site 3, site 4, and so on. Okay, so this is the figure showing the standard, uh, you can say the standard requirements for the components of distributed database management system. Okay, now moving to the next slide. So what are the benefits of DDBMS? DDBMS having several benefits. First and important benefit of DDBMS is transparency. Okay, transparency means there is a separation of high level semantics from low level implementation issues. Okay, and extension of the data independence concept in centralized database. So transparency is one of the important benefit of DDBMS. It provides us the facility to separate high level semantics from low level implementation issues, and there is the option of the extension of the data independence concept in centralized databases. So there are a basic concept of fragmentation and replication. The fragmentation and replication option is used for providing the transparency. That is a important benefit of distributed database management system. Okay, so fragmentation means the distribution of the database into multiple components, and replication is the copies, or you can say the multiple copies of the same database that can be stored, that can be accessed from any location over the network. Now moving to the next slide. So the transparency having the option for language transparency, fragmentation transparency, replication transparency, network transparency, data independence, or data. When we talk about transparency, it means there may be the transparency for the language. Database can be stored, database can be designed or created in any language. So there may be the transparency. Anyone or any user can know, any user can have the information about the language. That is language transparency. A user can have the information about the language, in which language the database is stored or database is created. Fragmentation transparency, user can have the information about the fragmentation of the database. If the database is uh, distributed, or database is having different components, a database can be distributed into different components, so that is a kind of fragmentation. Replication transparency, user have the ability, user have the right to replicate the database. That is replication transparency. You can have multiple copies of the same database, and you can also have the access to alter and modify the duplicate database. So that is a kind of replication transparency. Replication transparency is very important when you want to have the shared database over the network. You can have the option to replicate the database, and again you can share that replicated data, or you can say you can also have the option to share that duplicate data over the network. That is a replication transparency. Network transparency means there is a known source of the network, or the network through which your database are connected with each other, the network through which your distributed database is working. User can have the information, user can know the uh, information about the network, what kind of network is being used for distributed database management system. That's a kind of network transparency. Data independence means a database can be independent from each other. No two data sets can have the dependency on each other. A database is stored at the location 1, database is stored at location 2, database is stored at location 3. Each and every database is stored at different locations may have independency. They are not independent on each other. They are dependent on each other. Okay, and data is very important. What kind of data we are using for creating database, whether it is a kind of raster database or vector database, any kind of database. Data may be of people, or the user have the information what kind of data we are using. Either we are using some raster data set, either we are using some vector data set, either we are using some other database. The database may be of elevation data sets or any kind of other socioeconomic database. So the source of the data and the type of the data is known to the user. So these are some transparency functions, transparency benefits of distributed database management system. When we are going to access the distributed database through the network, so we have all the information about the language, the fragmentation, the replication, the network, data independence, and the data type and data function. So this is the transparency option. It is very important in case of distributed database management system. Now moving to the next slide. Yeah, this is another benefit of DDBMS, that is performance. Okay, by having distributed database management system, we are having improved performance. Okay, if our database is stored only on the single network, only on the single computer or single site, okay, so it may be because of some problem, some network error, we will not able to access the database. But when our database is distributed over the network, our database is distributed at different locations, at different sites on the you can say different computer systems. So it certainly improves our performance. Okay, because it reduces the chance or risk of the data lost or damage in the data. The greater throughput due to local data localization and parallelism. There is a option of local database. Okay, so if a computer is having database and maybe the database stored in different computer or different location is having some like problem or it is damaged, so it doesn't affect the database stored at the different computer or different system. Okay, because each and every system, each and every site having local database management system. So that is a kind of data localization. Data localization means there is a option, there is a facility that if the system is facing some problem in that in the database, so it doesn't mean that the database on another computer having the problem. Each and every database is like you can say individually dependent on each, not each other. Okay, that is known as autonomy. Autonomy means no database from a computer can have the relation to the database to the another computer. So that is a kind of data localization that reduces the communication overheads. And parallelism is also there. There may be the option that you can connect the computers having multiple data sets, that is multi database management system, that is parallel database management system. Parallel database management system, you can parallelly work on several databases, the databases stored at different locations. So there is a kind of interquery and intra-query parallelism. You can have the option to interquery of the database or intra-query of the database using parallel database management system or PDBMS. Okay, so this is very important benefit of distributed database management system. Like the database can be stored, can be localized at a local computer, local system, and it doesn't affect the global network. If a computer is having some problem, so it doesn't mean that it is affecting the global network. There are hundreds and 2000s and multiple computers are having multiple databases that are distributed over the network. Okay, so it reduces the communication overhead. And that is because of the data localization. And second one is parallelism, means you can perform the interquery between the database and that is stored at different locations, that is stored in different computers through the network. Okay, so these are some important benefits of distributed database management system. These are some MCQs related to today's lecture. All of you attempt these MCQs, which will be uploaded on LMS. Thank you very much for today's class.